All right. So this is where we're at right now. Now, obviously, Q ended about 15 minutes ago, but I don't have the starting grid. I don't have the starting grid. I'm really not available to go live at a later time today. We are at, what are we? We are right at Porzingis is out, by the way, if anybody needs it. I mean, we're 2 hours away from lock. This contest is about filled. Let's see. Yeah, right now it's 3,800 of 4,700. I just figured I'd still go live. I mean, I haven't done my projections. I haven't checked anything like that. I don't. Obviously, this is the thing that really. Oops. I don't know why I opened that. This thing that really irks me about how they do stuff, especially since they changed how they pull their data. I mean, AD doesn't have it up yet. Obviously, the NASCAR app, resets as soon as the final round is over, and so I mean, this is pretty unfortunate. I mean, we know Lane Riggs is on the pole, right? I have to assume. Lane Riggs has been killing it at the short tracks this year. I'm gonna assume I'm probably gonna have like a baseline projection of Lane Riggs at probably 72 to 66 points, and I'll probably end up having 67% Lane Riggs. But I just don't. Let me see if I don't believe DraftKings will even have it. Yeah, nobody's pulled the starting grid. I mean, I could check J-Ski. But we've been through this road before and stuff. I don't even know how many people are going to watch. There's 12 of you guys here. I figured I'd use this more. If you guys have any distinct questions or just want to chit chat and stuff, I mean, it's a playoff. First off, it's a playoff race at Martinsville for these, ding dongs. Both. I mean, especially the lower two series, but especially with all the idiots who got to race their way in Sunday. I mean, this. Every year, this has just been a shit show for Martinsville and stuff. So, I mean, I'm really not a fan of this slate, despite the fact I'm entering 141 lines or whatever this is. But yeah, I just I'm looking through different things. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a carnage fest. Just really a damn shame that I just don't have the start. I was hoping to at least have it so we could talk about stuff. And what I really care more about, obviously, in Lane Riggs on the pole, I really don't care about that. I'm way more interested in talking about the back half of the field. But Bob Pockris, I mean, shout out to Bob, just sitting in the fucking media center jerking off, doing nothing. I mean, it's just one of those days where we're gonna. First off, contest is gonna fill. Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours early. We have the big NBA slate, college football, start of the World Series and stuff. The focus on NASCAR is just so small in terms of cover. I'm gonna check J-Ski right now. Oh, they did? Okay, cool. Because I've been refreshing this whole time, and also it's gonna take me about 10 to 15 minutes to finish the projections, damn, dude, I can't just be pushing this back. Also, Bobby and Cheat's probably going to go live to talk about the NBA slate. Let's see. All right, so you guys are. Let's see here. First off, I don't trust DraftKings for anything. I mean, they've had it wrong before. J-Ski has nothing. All the official places that I look, just take forever. I don't care if DraftKings is right or wrong. I never use their data for anything. So this is a pretty big waste of time, man. Unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate. But you guys got anything to rant about or talk about stuff? I do know. Well, I can at least confirm. So I know it's Lane Geo in second. I know Majeski's third. I just hate looking at shit like this, man. It's so stupid. Like I can tell you right now, we're not. Don't play Norm Benning. Don't play Justin Carroll. You know. Still, like I usually watch like the last two. All right. Let's see this guy that I've never heard about. As I answer. What is this, dude? What kind of handle is this? Yeah, I mean, I'm not trusting some fucking guy, posting shit on Twitter. I don't even care. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I mean, I'd like it from official stuff. I've been doing this for 8 years. He could be right. He could be right. But over the course of 8 years, anytime one guy has it on Twitter, fucking wrong. One, 27th and 28 are flip flopped and stuff, and then I got to go in and refix it. I just will wait for official avenues at this point, even if it takes forever. Anyway, back to the UFC fights. I usually, I just usually watch the last 3 fights, especially if it's like a 6 or 7 p.m. start. I'm just watching the last fights. I love the ones overseas because then it starts like 3 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, or whatever. And those are the best because then I can just goof around and watch them all. But yeah, let's see. Very high variance race. I mean, obviously nothing as high variant as the plate races and stuff. So we're not like just stacking from the back. But I mean, earlier in the year, it was very much like, Corey Haim was projected to kill the field. And I mean, Haim's had really good cars here at Martinsville before, but when you look at, how everybody's running and stuff this year at the short tracks, and specifically, I mean, you look at the speed that Lane Riggs has had, I think Lane Riggs has to be, from a projection standpoint, leading at least 3/4 of the race, with probably a ratio of 0.8 fast laps or so. I mean, like I said, I think I'll probably end up having Lane Riggs, probably anywhere from 68 to 69. 10 a.m. tomorrow. Is there a 10 a.m.? What is this? Oh, is it tomorrow? What is this? What is this little? You're telling me UFC starts at 9 o'clock my time? Oh, sounds like I'll be actually. Well, okay. So I have my mom's coming to visit this weekend. So I got to, we're hanging out there. I'm going to a Judas Priest concert Sunday. So I probably really won't be watching any of this, any sports really this week. But that UFC, I will definitely be playing that. I'll be maxing that 25 for sure. But yeah, whatever. We'll hypothetically look around NASCAR guy, dude. Hold on. Let's I'm gonna check one thing really fast. Yeah, it seems second verse same as the first. I mean, DK's been wrong as well. I like to just get it from one official section. But like I said, I figured I'd just go live and we can kind of TikTok and bullshit. I'm only free to do a video for like 15 minutes here. I can't imagine, looking around this hypothetical, starting grid. I have like no interest in playing anybody at Bearden or below on the starting grid. I'm gonna assume. I mean, I don't even know what the salaries are. I probably shouldn't have gone live here. This is kind of a waste of time. I thought I at least have it. I mean, we've been here for another 10 minutes, and not one single official avenue has it out. So that's unfortunate. And I can't look at SaberSim, right? We can't look at SaberSim or anything because Lord knows we won't have any of their stuff till 50 minutes before the fucking slate starts. So I guess we're just gonna be here. just doing nothing. So that's majorly unfortunate. Yeah, I don't really have any opinion on like anything here. Let's see, anything updated? Oh, good thing, Jayski's saying that we have no failures in Xfinity inspection. That's really helpful. Thank you for that. Same thing. Hey, Bob. Hey, shout out to Bob Pockris. Tweeting about that a minute ago. Because Xfinity tech really matters right now, right? And yeah, AD. So like this is the other one. This is the direct API into NASCAR stuff as well. I mean, obviously this is AD's data, but he pulls straight from there. Yet again, hasn't even been updated in NASCAR's back end as well. Can't even pull anything because everything's a fucking dead link right now. So that's really unfortunate. Let's get that there. Oh, does the NASCAR app finally have it? I hate their new app, bro. I hate their new app. Oh, let me refresh it. Hold on. Let me exit out of this. All right. I don't know, man. I mean, you got a different app than I do, man. I've closed it and reopened it. I just have the entry list. I still don't have the starting grid. So literally we're doing diddly squat out here, man. We could do it live if I do eventually get it. Let me check one other place. Here we are. Or I'll give it a second to repost on NASCAR stuff. Plans for the off season. I mean, I'm just playing DFS. I don't know. What do you mean by plans in the off season? All right, cool. So we do officially have it. You want to do this live since we're already here? I got half an hour before I got noise here. So it's really all right. So let's go through and do this together, boys. We'll do everything from scratch. I was hoping we'd be here well earlier. So I apologize for the wait. I would have pushed this back half an hour, but oh well. As I go through this, and yes, I manually go ahead and I don't know. This takes super slow because I'm on my laptop. If I'm on a real keyboard, I'm usually done with this in about 40 seconds. But what was I going to say? Plans for the off season? I mean, I don't have any plans other than what I'm doing here normally. Playing like every DFS contest there is out there. I mean, I'm probably not going to play any more of the MLB showdown stuff. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze for me to really waste entry fees there. But I mean, I'm just maxing out everything at this point, and I'll actually be really happy when NASCAR is over because this has been a horrific year, dude. Where the fuck is Raja at? This has been a horrific year. This has been probably my worst NASCAR year in probably the last 4. I don't even know if I'm even up in NASCAR. I've kind of considered it to be a loss year across the board. I don't think I am due to the plate races and everything, and even just other situations. But I just feel like I'm probably down for the year on that. It's so funny is if I probably would have migrated away from NASCAR earlier instead of just focusing on it over these last couple of years, I probably would have been at this point a lot sooner because all these other sports have been the variance in these other sports have been way further or way lower than NASCAR, and that's probably could have used my time differently. Just a shame that this is the only sport I actually enjoy watching. What else? Obviously, I'm not looking at the chat. You're seeing my screen, but I mean, this year's been. I mean, literally just using like chasing other sports have just been. It's been worth my time. Off-season plans. I'm still thinking of what exactly that. What the answer to that question is. Making sure TrueDFS keeps getting users. Obviously, I'm using. Focusing more on the Stake Kings and backing aspect of stuff now. And having people get pieces of my action through that. I put Bailey Curry here. We need Chandler Smith in 18. So I should be talking doing this stuff. Because then I'll have to go check. I'll have to go through and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Because at this point I've already screwed that up. All right, Brent Cruz, 21st. But I can't just sit here and be quiet and not do. I don't know. This stream is already a disaster across the board. So what does it even matter? Like, you know, this race is bad. We got Tony Connor and Timmy Hill, 24th, 25th, and 26th here. Why is my back hurting so much? What angle am I at here? Why am I having such a good time here? And when we do eventually get here, we'll do everything. What is it? We'll do everything live here. Since I kept everybody here for so long. I do. Last thing before I go here, the last like 3 Cup Series slates, I've Max Henry, and I've like done extremely well on them. So maybe that just is the secret of like if you just enter, where the fuck is Henry at? If you just enter 150 lines, you can have some cash. All right, so let's. All right, let's do a double check. Lane, Giovanni, Ty, Corey, Caden, Anchorman 6, Raja 7th, Infinger 8th, Henrik 9th, Andres 10th, Ben 11, 12 is Tanner Gray, 13 is Brennan, 14 is Sutton, 15 Crafton, 16 Corey, 17 Connor, 18 Chandler, 19 Jack Wood, Bailey Curry, 20th. Brent Cruz, 21. 22 is Jake Garcia. 23 is Matt Mills. 24 is Tony Stewart. Connor is 25th. Hill's 26. Mears 27. Boyd 26. Or 28. Patrick 29. Logan. Justin. Frankie. Al and Norm. Clayton. All right. So that took us... Oh, yeah, it took forever. Sorry about that, boys. And I'll, we'll go through the whole thing because I'd like to get this stuff. We won't have ownership, so that kind of screws that up a bit. But we're gonna do all this live. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the lineups. We're gonna do everything. Who is texting me now? What's going on here? Okay, Bobby can't make the show later. So change of plans. I can be here all day. You know, everybody here at TrueDFS has been putting in such a what is it? We've all been working very hard here. Goldie has been working incredibly hard in the back end. Griffin, everybody's here. What the fuck's going on here? Checking one last thing here. Okay. So we got 200 laps. Let me check the chat before we go here. If we got any questions, because I can talk through that stuff while I do this. No 2080, you guys here. I'm surprised nobody's left. It's got 4 likes. I'm surprised by that. Let's see what else is going on here. You playing a max 25-2? Yeah, I mean, I look, no lie. I mean, between the UFC win, I already have a DraftKings VIP host. I'll be hitting Diamond. I mean, we can look at that here. I mean, I'm putting anywhere from like 5 to 10 grand a night on stuff anyway. It's reached the point where it's like I don't even care about any one individual slate here. I'm really concerned about the golf stuff. That's not fun this week. But I mean, I've been playing a shitload of money since everything. I mean, we're like, and I mean, we've literally done. We went from like pretty bottom silver to flying past diamond since the UFC victory. It's been pretty killer. So like 150 and so like what is that? That's 37. I'm probably like 5 or so in the fights tomorrow. Between that, the State Kings backing and stuff like that, like I just I'm able to pretty much do that consistently. So let's see what's going on here. Football, I have no clue. I haven't between being here and doing stuff, I haven't watched like any of the sports this week, so I have no clue. Actually, we can look through. I think I took like a $2,000 loss or something on the NFL, but I have no clue why or why not. And I think this is a pretty good baseline. And same thing with like Geo. I mean, all these Tricon cars have been pretty resilient in their speed. Heim's about the only guy who could probably be here, but I think Lane Riggs, based on everything is. I was looking at all this stuff earlier today, so I'm doing it live here. But I mean, it's Corey Heim and Lane Riggs. I mean, like I said, I mean, I got Lane for 73. I figured I'd be in that range anyway. I mainly wanted to get these. That's not what I meant to type in. Mainly want to get these done because I just don't think literally anybody else is really worth the darn here. Okay, are you maybe Chandler? But see what happens from there. I focused way more on like actual just line of construction versus like any real opinion on any sport. Okay, so why am I kind of just going through this stuff here? I mean, I've already looked at stuff this year, as I said, but like everything, the range of outcomes for every driver, obviously, like it. I mean, obviously the projections like really don't even matter. It's just what I use to look at stuff. But like Lane Riggs, right, starting the poll or whatever. His main people that he's got to worry about, I would argue, is Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, probably Caden in that sense, but he's just been so fast. Control car on the initial start, which is going to be huge, and I would envision he's going to be the control car for a majority of this event. Yet again, I'm playing the 140 whatever lineups. Obviously, we can have people take each other out or whatever. But just entering this slate, I think as long as I get, I want to cap them at like 58% exposure rates. I don't really even care what the field does. just with the nature of this, let me take this off so it's not banged against the desk here. Just with the nature of this slate and what the field can potentially do, I think I want to say like 58, 60%. And then everything else I want to be pretty heavily on what the rest of these numbers are. Now, yet again, I'm getting this up before SaberSim has their stuff up. So I won't have any ownership to do the contest sims with and stuff. Now, typically I like to use just Sheets' stuff if I'm going to do that. I won't have that today. But yet again, since I've transitioned away from like, hey man, this year was, a pretty big waste of time hand building and stuff, whether I was close or not, I'm just building stuff and letting it run. And that's actually just been drastically better. So I might completely just abandon hand building across the board. And this NASCAR was kind of the last, helicopter out of Vietnam for like, for hand building stuff, but I think those days are kind of done, dude. I think I just don't, at least for me personally, it's probably not worth doing that stuff. Connor's been incredibly frustrating this year. I started the year off playing Connor so like that 38, 5'8", I don't need that in my shit because it's gonna want to just floor him into everything. Oops, let's not see. I'm working on this laptop. The reason I'm doing this is, yet again, I've done this enough to where I like all these guys are pretty even. Queen need to bump Queen down a bit more. I really don't want one value carrying, my stuff or whatever. I'm usually trying and be pretty aware of what is going to be bumping up here. I don't really need like this 37.9 and 38. I think that's perfectly fine. Very similar price, starting the exact same. I like Queen more than Gray slightly, but this is accounting for the true upside of what the Stricon card can do. Actually, they're both in Tricon cards, but when my stuff runs, I don't want, and yet again, and I noticed this last night, because obviously, I went 100% on Jokic and stuff, and people are like, "Why are you doing that?" Whatever. Like, I'm here specifically just talking about how I'm building for any specific slate and how I do stuff. This is not a, hey, these are your top 5 chalk plays or whatever. You silly individual who has no clue what they're doing. Like, I'm not here to do that. I am here to specifically show exactly what I'm doing. And obviously another sports has been really, really good this year. But like, I'm not here to build a core. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm here to just talk through exactly what my process is, whether it wins or loses or whatever. That's why I like doing this stuff. But anyway, I really like these numbers that I'm seeing here. These are all guys that I would envision that. I mean, obviously I like them and stuff, and I like them to gain a few positions here, and especially with how bad this back end of the field is. I mean, is this guy even still breathing after he burned himself last week and stuff? And like these guys aren't even going to finish the races, right? So we can't even use anybody in the back of the field. This is like a 28 card grid, realistically, of like usable people. Andres would probably just get ran through or ran someone over. I just don't expect him to finish it. So like, you remove Andres from the pool, you remove these guys in the back half of the bottom half of the salary here, and then we're working like 28 cars or whatever. So I want these guys to not. I don't want necessarily a standout from this range when I'm building. Now, yet again, I've been. And the reason why I keep saying I've been doing this a long time is I'm sure people are wondering why I do things a certain way, or why do I think so-and-so is going to finish here, or what am I doing here? That's just where I got the feel. I've been through this enough. I'm pretty satisfied with the projections this year have been fucking great. I've been the one who has like not been able to really capitalize on them. There have been several people like, and that's like the most frustrating thing, right? Like when it's multiple, when people, DM me and be like, man, your projections are awesome. That killed it. I was like, who the hell? Who did you play? I played with my stuff told me to play, and I got slaughtered. But the projections have been killer this year. So I don't plan on stopping my own manual stuff. I'm just gonna not let any hand building like biases get involved with any of this stuff anymore. I gotta see who Jones is racing with. That's the last thing I want to check here. Give me a moment. Sorry. Where is this stuff at? Oh god, I hate this NASCAR app. Jeez Louise. Hope he's with Tricon, but I gotta make sure here. No, yeah, he's with Nice. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure he's not with Tricon. That's one where I am gonna redouble check this really fast here. I closed out of it, damn it. Where are we at? This is one where I do want to go back and look at good old, who the heck am I looking at here? The 41 car? What am I going to Connor Jones. I do want to look at these laps really fast here. Again, because I don't remember what they were looking like here. I don't really care about what section or where he was at in terms of when he ran those fast laps and stuff. I just want to see where his 10 fastest laps are in this Group A, which is pretty low because it's in a NASCAR. Okay, that's all I wanted to check. What's time on? I do gotta check. It's Porzingis. I gotta update all this stuff anyway, but I just want to make sure. Actually, we don't need to do that. Oh, those will be changing anyway. Yeah, like same thing like college football. I gotta update that stuff. Like I've been maxing literally everything. At this point, I've finished first in every sport I played at some point in the last like 2 months. Let me just check really fast. Okay, so the fadeaway is about to fill up. Okay, what is it? Okay. Connor Jones. Is Casey what's Casey at? Why is he so much lower than Timmy Hill? It's 200. That's not as egregious as I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be way closer. Patrick was pretty. We'll see what happened. Patrick can go either way. I'll cap Patrick specifically at like 20%. And if I don't get there, I just don't get there. And these guys are trash. Frankie is a fucking fraud. I don't know why he's still in here. Get him. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Actually, that's even fair for him to say. Okay, so yet again, I'm not really concerned about these guys in the back, and you might be like, hey, is this what you? Now, I mean, normally I do go a little bit more in depth, but these are still the numbers that I use. But I mean, I really, really lose a lot of the passion for NASCAR when we get in the playoffs. I really hope they go back to like a single season stuff. Not to start that argument, but like for me, the NASCAR season is over as soon as the playoffs start because like you get out of real racing and then just into shenanigans and people dumping each other. I actually don't need that one. We're actually I'll let this run while I am updating the projections here. Sorry, you got to see everything behind the scenes. And luckily, I don't have any no files in there. Okay, so hold on. Let me get all this right so we can go through and look at stuff here, and then I'll look at chat while I run all this stuff. This thing is so slow. I gotta get another laptop. This thing was fine when I wasn't running as much stuff. I've only had this laptop like a year, right? Like a year and a half or something. But like it is, I've very quickly flew through its usefulness. Very, very, very fast. And also, I always just do placeholder lineups and stuff earlier in the day, as stated, or as you should all the time, is don't upload lineups until the last minute possible. If Sabres has stuff about, I will be shocked. Okay, they don't. They don't. Of course not. Why would they? Okay, so. All right, and this source is going to be called this gibberish. All right, now let me upload my projections to the website so anybody who has access to it and would like to use it can. I mean, even though I was talking and using the laptop, everything done in about 15 minutes from when I have the what is it? Starting grid. All right, so let's forgot. Can't do it on this one. All right, let's go ahead and delete that. That's not what actually. I don't want to fuck with this sheet. All right, get that done. Now we need the IDs. Now we need everything else. This is so it populates onto SaberSim. If you have our memberships and stuff. All right. Finally got all that done. Cool. All right, now since we don't have, let me sure. Okay, since we don't have ownership, and obviously this is my projections for these guys. You can assume that my stuff likes the people who are at least at like a 4.8 value, right? But since we don't have, yeah, screw it. Let's. I like using the portfolio stuff. That has also shown pretty drastic improvements for. And again, those are not the football lines. I'm Ryan. I've got to rerun stuff. So no, I mean, I guess you could dupe them, but like that's not even the shit I'm going to have at the end of the day. I do like the portfolio stuff, and not just the highest projected stuff, but that's what we're with right now. So yet again, the reason I switched to classic is because it works a lot. I did. It should be here. Cool. Is because classic works a lot better if we don't have ownership, because it's just a straight up optimizer. And yet again, I make my own stuff because I like having that data set and that number set. And so, playing the guys that my stuff says to play from an optimizer point of view, to where you have, the highest predicted guys or whatever, is basically what I do with that cap, like the ownership to the top guys and stuff. Let me check the chat while this goes. Sorry it's taking so long to get to this point, but we're here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, like I said, obviously, obviously hindsight being like, I knew hockey, when I don't remember the books and stuff, but like, there's statistics on what sports have the most variance and And I think hockey of like the stick and ball sports are related or is the highest just due to the multiple things the puck can do and all that adds, like how unpredictable that stuff goes. But motorsport, NASCAR is just by far just like extreme variance across the board. Alex, I think it's a very, very expensive sport. Like, like the Vegas one, right? I don't remember how much I put in Discord just because it's good to like post to the users that like, hey, I'm not losing my ass and stuff. But like I had like 10% William Byron, right? Like I was winning like nothing that day. And then actually we can go ahead and look. I'll even bring it up because I don't even remember exactly what it was. But like the Las Vegas day, I had like 10% William Byron. I didn't like him as a play. I didn't like that the field was going to play him. So I had like no. That's the piston there. That is the one before. Yeah. So like I had 0 William Byron, right? Basically, practically, and like 150 lines, having 12% of him. Basically nothing, right? Phil has him at 40, and then Ty Dillon pits from the groove, and I end up with a line in 8th and 9th, and then coming 2.5x in the money and stuff, right? Like you get the same thing with Dover. Dover was probably the last one before that. That I was really fine to take down until Chastain hit the wall and stuff. Same thing with the fucking rain on, like, I love intermediates, and the fact that we've moved away from intermediates, I think has really hurt my own stuff for NASCAR. Okay, so I'm not concerned about the lineups. Obviously, yet again, this is an optimizer looking at stuff based on what my stuff likes. So obviously, it's gonna be like, hey, numbnuts, probably want to play your highest guy, right? Whatever, but what I want to look at here is, obviously, I'm going to be capping Lane Riggs. It's interesting that Infinger's there, but he's $9,000. That's probably why I need to go ahead and look back here, and then I'll look at the chat again. Give me a second. I do apologize. I need to check the starting grid. So like Infinger is, where's this guy starting? Starting 8th, $9,000 makes a lot of sense. Cade Honeycutt. Yet again, 88 makes a lot of sense. And then you get to the, the guys we were talking about earlier, the Queen, the Grays, the Crews, based on what these guys are doing with their value. Obviously, my stuff is going to like that. Usually at this point, what I do is then compare my exposure, maybe not on a projection based, but once I have an idea of, let's back it up, because I do sort like. I'll usually compare what my expected exposure rates are of my top. I forgot to check this. I'm to increase. Well, actually, I can't because I have my stuff uploaded. So this is the exact exposure there. Usually, I look at the top like 1,500 to 2,000 lineups of my own stuff, and I see where I'm drastically over the field and where I'm usually under the field on, to get an idea of how different I am from the field, and if I need to probably not like. I doubt it's going to happen, but like if the field had projected to have like 5% Infinger and I got 65, it's like I should probably not be that high on somebody that the field is not going to have. But what I'm really curious on what this middle section is going to be, specifically, Cruz, Gray, Queen, Caden, this kind of mid-range here, because I'm over Lane Riggs. Let's see where we're at with Corey Heim. It's probably not going to be a lot. So right now he's not in my highest lineups, right? In the pool he's only in 5% of them, right? If the field, this is where projected ownership comes into play of where the field might specifically be going. If the field is going to be drastically, hugely on Riggs, I probably want less. If they're not going to be playing Heim, like if Heim's not owned today, you better believe I'm going to have like 20% Heim because I'd rather have a situation like that where if nobody's going to play him. But like Chandler Smith, not in my stuff, I probably want 15% of him. Yet again, this is just based on SaberSim Classic because we don't have ownership. We don't have anything. This is just the straight up highest projected lineups that would fill my 140 or whatever. But I think Chandler Smith is probably way more viable than Ty Majeski straight up. It's just Majeski's here because I have projected for fast laps and laps led. Let's see where the bottom of this stuff is going. So obviously my stuff never uses the stuff on the bottom because these guys are pretty bad. The Hill versus Casey Mears versus Patrick. So we're pretty tight on salary from what I'm telling here between the 6, 58, 58, 56 here. It's looking like we're pretty tight on salary. I'd look at, I'd go in and I'd look at what my lineups are using salary wise to see if it's a projection that's leaning towards Casey Mears or the salary restraint that I'm possibly needing somebody under $6,000 to complete my stuff. It's like this one, right? Connor Mozak. I just don't need 44% of this guy. But my stuff likes him. Okay, so gut feeling is like, I don't want 44%. My stuff likes him. Okay, I'll play 30% and just no questions asked. If my stuff likes him, with everybody else, with however else it's building, it's probably who I want to use. Same thing with Queen. It's not using Jake Garcia. I don't remember where he's starting. And again, this is why I like to have the grid. If I can see it, where's Jake at? Now, Jake did have, where the fuck is this dude at? He's 22nd. I probably want an even amount of Cruz, Jake Garcia, Gray, Queen. There's just no reason for my stuff or for me to not have an exposure rate of these guys. But anyway, as I go through this and I'm like, I probably want, an exposure rate pretty similar between these guys, based on what their actual potential upside in a DFS contest is. And, then you compare that to where the field is going. Does the field like one person? Is the field spread out in that situation? And so on and so forth. That's how I approach stuff. We'll see what you guys are saying here. Yet again, sorry that this was a pretty terrible stream. Let's see. Will not be involved in wrecks right up front. He was mad. Yeah, if I was doing less lines, anywhere from like 10 to probably 20, I'd be very tempted to have quite a lot of rigs. Stage flip, I don't think points racing or anything like that is even worth it for these guys. These guys, if you're out of the point, you get the lead, you better be expected to be shipped. If you need to lock your way in or race your way in, you're going to be shipping people. I'm not concerned about flipping the stage at all. Typically, like I think Corey Heim, I think Lane Riggs, I think these guys are pitting one time, and I think it's in stage 2. Or they pit early and they don't pit again. I don't think we're going to see a lot of funny stuff on pit lane. I think most people are going to try and pit once or twice. Especially if we get a lot of yellows, like we're not burning tires up. We're not doing any of that stuff. So I don't think there is much worry about what they're going to be doing in pit lane today. Really impressed. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, and I guess if you don't play other sports, I do appreciate you hanging out with us just for the NASCAR stuff, Alex. Best of luck. Enjoy the off season. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, I think Heim would probably get a substantial amount. I would expect his ownership to probably be in the 50s or 60s. Anything more than that's probably a little egregious. Where are we at before this stupid slate starts? How much time do we got here? Got an hour and 17, man. I'll probably actually finish my lines in about the next half hour. I'd like to see an ownership update from something. Mackenzie Gill II has a new injury for college football. For those of you who are interested in that, I think that's mainly it. You see the guys that my stuff likes. If you're interested in never using the stuff, this year, next year, consider joining. Obviously, I don't show everything from the beginning to every stream, but yeah, what else? Just Martinsville, man. I don't know. I fully expect people to just wreck some people late in the race here, especially if we get guys who just shouldn't be up front. And I really, I like Heim, right? He's been a great kid. He's great. I would love if he loses the championship at Phoenix. Like I would literally want anybody but Heim to win the championship because I think that'd be hilarious. I think that's mainly it. The 35 of you guys here watching this, I do appreciate it, and let you guys go. And see you guys later, alligators. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to you guys later.